Hi everyone, it's nice to see you again. I hope you come by the library and see all of the things we've done for Halloween, to maybe take a story walk, maybe even in the snow if it happens on Friday. Right now I have a couple of books that I thought you would enjoy listening to right before Halloween. I'll be showing it to you up close and personal so you see all of the pictures. Thank you. This first book is called Cookie Boo by Ruth Paul. Seven spooky cookies sitting in a tin, waiting for the moonlight to let the magic in. Let's see if I can turn this without... Trick or treat, lift the lid, and the moonlight streams. Boo, yell the cookies, and the little monster screams. Out climb the cookies, jump into the floor. Boo, yell the cookies to the doggy by the door. Down through the garden, out into the street. Boo, yell the cookies to everything they meet. Boo to the lamppost, boo to the car. Boo to the fireflies flashing in a jar. Boo to the skeleton, boo to the ghost. Boo to the witch's cat sitting on a post. Seven spooky cookies playing on the slide. Do they see the furry feet poking at the side? Boo, yells the monster, tricking all the treats. Yummy, scrummy cookies, now you're mine to eat. Run, spooky cookies, scatter to and fro. Boo-hoo, cries baby bat, he's got me by the toe. Oh no, where to go? Cookies crisp with fright. Climb into the pumpkin and huddle by the light. Quiet, spooky cookies, don't drop any crumbs. Outside there's a monster. Shh, here he comes. Hairy, scary monster around the pumpkin creeps. Boo, yell the cookies, and the little monster leaps. Scramble, spooky cookies, flee with baby bat. Back past the happy ghost, howling with the cat. Back past the skeleton, dancing all about. Back past the fireflies, but let the critters out. Back through the garden to the doggy by the door. Tiptoe quietly, listen to him snore. Scale the walls, lift the lid, every cookie in. Set the cookies safely in their tin. Looks good. Let's try another book. I think we should try a scary one. This is a Paul Galdone, retold by Joanna Galdone, a story. It's a ghost story, just the thing we need before Halloween. A long time ago, an old man lived by himself in the deep, big woods. His cabin had only one room, and that room was his parlor, his bedroom, his dining room, and his kitchen, too. Now, the old man had 3 dogs. One was called Uno, one was called Eno, one was called Calico. One day, the old man decided to go hunting to catch something for his supper. Here, 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 he called all the boys, and all those dogs came bounding off the porch. Those were good old dogs, good old boys. They were bound to help that old man hunt. After many hours of hunting, the wind began to blow hard from the valley. Be dark soon, said the old man, to all we caught is a skinny old rabbit. He headed on home, afraid they all would have to go to bed hungry that night. That old man cooked and ate the rabbit and gave the bones to the dogs, and then he leaned back in his chair and watched the moon rise up big and full, and the wind whistled round the cabin. Just as the old man was about to doze off, a most curious creature crept through a crack in the logs in the wall. It had a long, furry tail. As soon as that old man saw that varmint, he reached for his hatchet, and with one lick, he cut off his tail. Before the man could raise his hatchet a second time, that creature slipped back out through the crack and ran away. That old man was so hungry, he took that big, long tail, he cooked it, and he ate it. After that, he stuffed up the crack in the wall and went back to bed. His stomach was full, and he felt so warm and cozy and snug that before he knew it, he fell asleep. Well, that old man hadn't been asleep long when he woke up because something was climbing up the side of his cabin. It sounded like a cat. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Who's that? The old man asked, and he lay still and listened. And after a while, he heard a voice say, Tailypo, Tailypo, all I want is my Tailypo. And the scratching went on, and the old man began to shiver and shake it, and then he remembered the dogs, and he went to the door, and he said, Here, here, here! And the dogs came piling out from under the porch, and with their noses to the ground, they chased that thing deep into the swamp. The old man pulled his covers up tight around him and went back to sleep. In the middle of the night, he woke up again, and now he heard something trying to get in right above the cabin door. Who's that? He called. What do you want at this time of night when all good friends and peoples are in bed? He listened to it, and he could hear it go over and over again. And then he heard the voice say, Tailypo, Tailypo, I'm coming to get my Tailypo. The old man was so scared he couldn't stand up, so he called his dogs from his bed, and he said, Uno, Eno, come to Calico, come here, here, here. And those dogs came bursting around the corner of the cabin, and they caught up with that wild thing at the gate, and they tore and chased it deep into the swamp. And everything was quiet again. With a big sigh, that old man went back to sleep. Toward morning, something down in the swamp woke up the old man. First he thought it was the wind blowing louder than usual, but when he listened again, he could hear a voice crying, You know, and I know, all I want is my Tailypo. And the old man called his dogs, Here, 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 Uno, Eno, come to Calico. But this time the dogs didn't come. The old man ran outside and called again, Here, 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 dogs, here. But there was no trace of them. It was just the sound of the wind blowing round that torn down fence. Something had led those dogs deep into the swamp and lost them. Sadly, the man went back inside his cabin, shut and barred the door. Then he went back to bed. Just before daybreak, the old man opened his eyes the way sometimes you do when you feel there's something in the room with you. Something was stirring in the pots and pans, and that something sounded just like a cat. And it was climbing up. Yes, all the covers at the foot of his bed. He heard it. He looked. He saw 2 long, pointy ears. Then he saw 2 big, round, fiery eyes. The old man wanted to call for help, but he was just too scared. He was. And that thing kept creeping up till it was right next to the old man. And it said, You know and I know I'm here to get my Tailypo. The old man sat up and said, I haven't got your Tailypo. Yes, you have, said the thing, and it jumped on top of that man and scratched and bit everything to bits. And now there's nothing left of that old man's cabin. In the deep, big woods, nothing except the chimney. But folks who live down in the valley say, when the moon shines and the wind blows, you can hear a voice say, Tailypo, Tailypo. Now I've got my Tailypo. Hope you liked it.